Hey guys, it's me, Kitty Cat the Coopling, and welcome to my Plush Bloopers video of my voice acting skills. So, in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I would do the different voices of some characters in this channel, even the ones I have for my second channel. Well, actually, yeah, some of them. And, yeah. I would consider my voice acting skill kind of as a Plush Bloopers episode because basically it would show how I would do the voices and how bad it would sound just with normal voices. And yeah. So let's get started. So, first characters we're gonna get started with is the main trio of my channel, Larry, Lemmy, and Ludwig. So yeah, and as you guys all know, this is what Larry's voice sounds like, which is pretty close to my normal voice. And as you guys also would have known,
this is Lemmy's voice. It sounds so squeaky compared to my normal voice.
I'm honestly really proud of doing Lemmy's voice like this because I'm actually quite proud of it.
Oh yeah, and this is what I would sound like.
And of course, some of you guys may have known, but this is what Ludwig's voice sounds like. Sounds British, does it not? Okay, seriously, I think that does sound like a British accent. Seriously, the way I do Ludwig's voice is so awesome. Compared to his last voice, I would not exactly do that. Honestly, I like the new Ludwig voice than the old one because he actually does sound more ignorant than I expected. Eventually, at some point in my old videos, you'll see how his original voice was, so yeah. Oh, I'd hate to talk differently than this! Oh yeah, and yeah, and Ludwig isn't the only person who kind of has an accent from a different kind of country. And yes, one of my second channel characters actually does have an Australian accent, eh mate? I'm honestly quite amused of how I do Manitoba's voice like this because, you know, I'm honestly quite proud of it. Oops. Oh yeah, his hat is not actually gluable. I kind of wanted to not really make it look like as if it was staying on his head because I would want to make scenes where, you know, people sometimes put their hat over their face whenever they're sleeping or something like that. Yeah man, wouldn't it be cool like this, you know? And oh right, I figured much. I'm honestly quite proud of this accent. Oh, and actually guys, very soon on this channel, one of my characters from my second channel is actually going to be having a Russian accent. Eventually at some point in the Plush interviews, I'll be able to feature her voice and her own personality as soon as I get a chance to, but I've got other characters in mind. At least my accent is better than Ludwig's old British accent, isn't it? Okay, moving on. Okay, so, some of you guys might have heard of Courtney before. You've probably seen her Total Stuff Plush Show in Season 2, or in the Marina Midnight Romantic Vacation series, although that series got discontinued because I was able to get all the clips I needed, but my computer got fixed, so all those clips went away. And not only that, I also got confused on where some clips are, some missing ones.
This is Courtney's voice, as you know.
I'm actually quite proud of her voice like this because it kind of sounds like the rival Octoling from Splatoon 1 and 2.
pretty good. Does it sound great to you?
So yeah, you should probably check out a video about rival Octoling voices from the games, Splatoon 1 and 2, and yeah.
I think I sound much better than the rival Octolings in those games. Do I not, or do I?
And to be honest, I'm kind of not really the exact fan who really would do this kind of voice, but honestly, I think it's worth doing it anyway.
It is for me anyway.
Alright. And here's some other characters. I actually do make voices based off of some. And if you guys probably haven't heard or have, I've watched the Pokemon anime series, my most favorite, well actually not all of the Pokemon anime series, just only with Pokemon Journeys and XYZ series like that, and the Pokemon Indigo League. I also watched the Kirby Right Back At Ya series too, it's actually pretty good. And yeah, so of course Kirby here.
Kirby, boyo, boyo, boyo.
Yeah, this is basically what Kirby's voice would sound like, and of course he doesn't talk, but only just says something like
Kirby, boyo.
or, you know, saying people's names like, you know, oh,
Kitty boyo.
something like that. So making Kirby's voice is actually quite cute. And I actually made Hoopa's voice. Why does his ring keep falling off like that? Anyway, making his voice sound like the Hoopa in the Clash of Ages movie.
This is Hoopa's voice. Hoopa is awesome.
And yeah, I think it actually does sound similar to his voice in the movie.
Yeah. Were you guys surprised by that?
I actually like making the characters' voices because I'm actually pretty good at voice acting. And of course, King Dedede's voice. It sounds a lot like the kind of Dedede that's in that Kirby Right Back At Ya series. Gotta climb that Kirby someday. Honestly, I think that really does sound like King Dedede's voice from Kirby Right Back At Ya. And yeah. You like me how my voice is? Do ya? So yeah, I'm quite proud of doing King Dedede's voice like this, and of course, Meta Knight. It is that I do sound like the one Meta Knight from Kirby Right Back At Ya. It does sound similar, doesn't it? And yeah, it sounded kind of weird at this part, but I would have to clear my throat sometimes for some of the voices. It is pretty difficult indeed. So yeah, it kind of does sound similar to Meta Knight's voice in Kirby Right Back At Ya. And yeah, speaking of whenever I clear my throat, I do have some characters I'd have to clear my throat in order to voice properly, or something like that. And yes, I would have to clear my throat for some characters, like with Black here. Not the Black, you know, Remy Super Leveda's nickname, or, you know, just Remy, her nickname. And whenever she actually gets introduced to Total Stuff Plush on Season 3, I'll have to make it so that the people would call her Remy instead of Black, and call him Black because he is black. And squeakers of these Among Us plushies are cute. And of course, this is what it sounds like. Oh, so this is what Black's voice sounds like. Edgy, isn't it? So yeah, I'd have to clear my throat a couple times for his voice, but yeah. And Duchess, I'm honestly pretty proud of what I made her as, because I used to like the Unikitty series on Cartoon Network, but then of course as soon as I finished watching it, I wasn't really interested in the show anymore, so
And it doesn't take a genius that long to try to notice that I sound like this.
And you can't forget about my other voice. Yeah, she kind of has a male accent. And it is interesting. I also brought Marks because... Geez, I don't know why I'm yawning a lot. Anyway, so I brought Marks here because this is what his voice sounded like. Yeah. Yeah, I'd have to get some saliva in my mouth to make it sort of like where he sort of speaks like someone with their braces on. And yes, guys, I actually do have braces. I also do have rubber bands. It's just I don't have to put them right now because I actually did eat something earlier. So yeah, I took them out, and of course, yeah. So yeah, it would be something, you know, like, too much saliva. But to be honest, I think Mark is one of the weirdest voice acting I would have to do. And, yeah. Mark isn't the only one that has a weird voice acting for me. And yeah, there are like a lot of characters that do have weird voices. Like, Viper here, aka Remy's pet snake. So, I talk like a snake. And honestly, it's kind of weird to do, but I get used to it, but still. Yeah, it's kind of weird doing voices of a snake person, like Viper here. So weird. And of course, here's Porygon Z. I actually made this out of felt. Same with Manitoba and Duchess. So this is Porygon Z from the future, reporting to you with his voice. And honestly, my brother actually did better with doing robot voices, but of course he retired from my channel, helping me make Plush videos because of puberty, and you know he's growing older, all that stuff. Oh jeez, oh. Yep. Oh, I'm yawning all of a sudden. Also, I just dropped some other plushies, so yeah. Porygon Z wasn't actually that hard to make. Same for Cofagrigus too. But making characters from my second channel is actually a bit harder, but it will get done eventually.
So this is how I sound like Yoshi.
Doing Yoshi's voice is kind of weird, but you'd eventually get used to it once you get to know about his voice better.
So yeah, doing it's not hard, but it is something. Yoshi.
And, I don't know why I brought Bowser Jr. here. I was not oh, Brown, stop falling. Ugh. So I don't know why I brought Bowser Jr. here. I did not actually intend to bring him here.
Well, yeah, this is what I sound like. It kind of looks like almost as if I'm a little kid.
I can tend to get a bit paranoid for making his voice, but still worth it since he's in my channel.
Here is Shy Guy.
And, I actually won this from a claw machine. Yeah. So, yeah, Shy Guy... Oh, jeez. I don't know why I'm yawning a lot. But still, Shy Guy does have this pretty cool voice. So, what do you guys think about my voice? I'm not exactly always good at making the Shy Guy voices in certain games. So, this is basically Brown's voice right here. I honestly want food right now. Making Brown's voice is really weird, but still, you to get used to doing weird voice acting, like for Brown or some other characters. And of course, Wendy. Oh my gosh, Wendy's voice sounds so much like a spoiled kid's voice. Seriously, and based on what I said, Wendy is not spoiled, by the way, so yeah, it kind of sounds like those kind of kids who I don't know how I would describe it, but something like that.
Yeah, like, oh my gosh. If you guys really insult my voice, that is like so rude.
So yeah, of course, it's a bit weird, but I get used to it. And of course I have Pearl here.
Oh yeah, what up y'all? Hell yeah, I have an awesome voice, as you know.
Okay, to be honest, I think Pearl's voice kind of sounds like a British accent. I said it again. British accent. Kind of sounds like a female British accent.
Like, oh yeah, I'm awesome, as you know, and I am not British, for crying out loud. Ah.
It's actually pretty funny, to be honest, the way she speaks.
And it's not funny. It's not funny at all.
But still. Yeah. There are still others that do have some voices that, seem, pretty, normal, or other things like, that. So, yeah, there are pretty much some characters' voices that do kind of sound sarcastic.
Like Marie, as you know, this is what my voice does sound like.
Okay, yeah, I think it seems pretty much like representing Marie in Splatoon 1 and 2. And, yeah.
Hopefully you guys approve. I really hope so.
And of course, Espeon here. Honestly, getting this little guy was just... I don't know how to describe it, but it's really small, but yeah.
So, I am a psychic.
Psychic?
I am a psychic Pokemon with this kind of voice.
It kind of represents about how Espeon is a psychic type and, you know, is about that kind of stuff. And honestly, with me stammering and saying words wrong, I think this kind of is a Plush Bloopers episode after all. Anyway, moving on. Rosalina.
This is what my voice does sound like. It's not really like Pearl's or Ludwig's, although I do love Ludwig.
And yeah, I guess it does represent Rosalina's personality in Super Mario Galaxy. And of course, Marina.
Of course, this is what my voice sounds like. Hopefully it's not too bad for you guys.
So, yeah. And of course, here we have Remy. So,
it's really nothing personal, but this is what my voice sounds like. It's not really that edgy, plus I've changed, and that was in the past after my father told me everything when I met him in jail.
Okay, I'm kind of going to robot voice of me.
So, this really is my voice. But yes, there you have it.
But, come on, I don't bite. Anyways, I've already been out for an interview. Okay. So, Dementio Moonlight here, or Dementio for short. I honestly don't know why I made her this short. And, yeah, I was not intending for her to be. But Sony Sunlight is Dementio's stepbrother. So, yeah. And yes, this kind of voice represents of how I am a moonly taco. And yes, I do stay up until past midnight. As you know. I honestly don't know if that's correct because of Sony and Dementio's differences. So, yeah. And of course, here's Yang. I don't know why I made him this small too. His head is just so big, but I also, for Yen, her hairstyle looked different than Yang's. probably need to change the thumbnail at some point.
So, this voice represents of how unfortunate I can get every single day. Pretty tragic, isn't it?
And yeah, it does represent Zhang's personality. And of course, last but not least, Crystal. The main character of the Crystal in the Water Ninja series. Oh yeah, and I'm actually going to come back to that series as soon as I get more videos out that I have in mind.
So, this is what Crystal sounds like? My voice does kind of sound like a little child, even though I am actually past 13 years old. I think I'm 15. So, yeah. My voice really does represent the trauma I've experienced and my birth defect of trauma.
Okay, trauma IRL is actually something tragic someone experiences, but the trauma in my way is kind of a birth defect, like for Crystal. So, yeah. Okay, so here's Mew. I actually forgot to feature her in the part where I was showing about the voice actors of the previous clip. So, yeah.
Crepe. Looks like I'm gonna be on camera again.
Oh yeah, by the way, Mew is actually saying cripe. C-R-I-P-E. Not anything else that doesn't relate to that word. So, yeah. That's all Mew is saying right now. Ah, jeez, my nose is starting to get itchy.
I'm cute, aren't I?
Making your voice sound so silly. But still, it's pretty fun overall. Mew is actually one of my favorite Pokemon in the game, well, aside from Flabébé and Greninja. Speaking of Greninja, just went over to my drawing desk because I literally keep Greninja right there. Oh, and I actually still have that drawing of him. So, yeah. So, as a ninja, this is what my voice would naturally sound like. Greninja. Ninja. Greninja. Ja. Ja. Oh yeah, Greninja's actual voice in Pokemon XYZ kinda does sound like as if has a scratchy, irritated throat, almost. But still. I actually got Greninja for my birthday this year. And, yeah. The tongue just slaps you. Ow. Oh yeah, and another thing about my communication disorder you guys should know is that I would tend to get off topic of certain things. So, yeah, that explains this, me sort of, doing something with the tongue. So, oh, oops. Well, I guess that'll wrap this video up. So, as I was making this video, I was actually planning on making another plush video. It's gonna be a mystery, guys, and it is gonna be a surprise. So, yeah. Hopefully you guys looking forward to that, and I'll see you till then, and I hope you enjoyed this plush bloopers, and I'll see you later. This is Kitty Cat the Coopling, signing off.